side note as we begin the first show in December?
Yeah, I think Gene Ann has 4 Christmas trees. 2 are inside, 2 are outside. So we have all that. But, yeah, we had a big weekend. Family in town, friends from Colorado. And we have a new what would you call it, holiday routine. We bowl at the 178 Club in Bull Shoals. I bet you none of y'all have ever bowled at the 178
Tommy,
Club.
have you bowled at the 178 Club?
No. And every time I go to Gaston's, I want to go there and eat dinner and go bowling because I've heard nothing but how wonderful a time it is there. So, no, that's on my list of things to do next time I go to Gaston's.
We took advantage of a misscheduling. The Boy Scouts were supposed to come Wednesday afternoon, and they made pizzas for them, and we got their pizzas.
Nice. You got some free pizza out of it.
And I think we paid a little bit for them, but it was discounted, yeah. And they were tremendous.
Clay steals pizzas from Boy Scouts. That's your hot take Monday as we get rolling, Tommy, on a hot take Monday.
They were just brought out and said, hey, y'all want these? You bet.
Yeah, you bet. Be prepared. Hey, hot take.
Boy Scouts.
Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands, the best prices, and always a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
And I'm disappointed we didn't beat Missouri. I'm disappointed for our kids. I'm disappointed for the fans. Not disappointed in the effort, but in the execution with the 2 turnovers. It led to 2 scores, and they had 0. It's hard to beat a top 25 team that way.
Here's my question, Clay and Tommy, as we get going this morning. Does anyone actually care about the game? I'm not talking about the fact that you lost, but it seems like there's so much more important stuff to talk about, not just from the weekend, but as we move through the week with various things that could happen with Arkansas football. I've got game notes that I've jotted down. I've got things I want to talk about, but that doesn't seem to be the biggest thing that came out of the weekend. I know that Whole Hog Sports reporting that Bobby Petrino is a candidate for the Charlotte job, amongst other sources. You've got some of the fights that occurred this weekend. We can talk about the game, guys, but I just feel like there's more about the Arkansas football program that people are wondering than what occurred in Faurot Field on Saturday.
Well, and I think it's that way every year, particularly in the last 2, 3, 4 years where we've entered the portal and now the entire roster's up for discussion at least.
It's a grab bag week. Yeah.
It's a what, Clay?
It's a grab bag week. I mean, everybody's going to reach out and try to grab your coaches and players. You're going to try to reach out and grab their players and coaches. It's a transition week, which is this week is more important than that game because it controls your future. There's going to be 40 to 50 new players on the roster. Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever sit down and looked at the roster? I mean, just looked at, like 105, 120 players on that list.
You were talking about it. I think on our program, Clay.
I recognize the players that are playing, the 22 to 30 players. I don't recognize any of the rest of them. And that might speak to, that I'm a little more removed from it than I once was. But I've never been able to not call out, you give me a number, I give you a name. I bet I could throw numbers to you, Ty, and you wouldn't be able to give me names.
Oh, no.
And I don't mean that in disrespect, but it's going to be like that again next year.
Yeah.
We may have a whole new roster of quarterbacks next year.
Yeah,
Taylor Green, Malachi Singleton, KJ Jackson. They may be all gone, or they may all be here. Or, it's in where the who's the quarterback roster might depend on what Bobby Petrino does. So we just don't know much. And so this week is more important. And, it's important for Sam Pittman. He's getting a hip replaced. And how that goes will determine certain things. How quickly is he back? He needs to have a quick recovery because there's going to be decisions to be made. Hundreds of decisions daily. over the next 7 to 10 days.
So we've already gotten a few text messages here that we'll sift through. Again, your calls and texts more than welcome with Clay Henry, Tommy Kraft, and myself, Ty Richardson, at 877-377-6963. We fielded plenty of calls on Hog Reaction on Saturday night and get into your opening drive this morning.
Another offseason, Talen's going to have a chance to do something special at Arkansas. I really do feel that way.
I don't see him staying past next year. I think that he's either going to retire or I think he's going to be fired. It's hard seeing all these turnovers costing us games every single game, it seems like.
Fans agree that he's hit on every coordinator except for Dan Eno.
Please get a different coach and please get a different quarterback.
Why don't we want our coaches to win games? If Arkansas can be mediocre, everybody's going to be happy.
He's still growing, man. He's got another year with Bobby Petrino. Give the kid time, and he'll do great things in the future.
There's a lot of people that don't like me down in that state, which is good.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
Drake managed to twist the knife after the 7-point victory after the game. We'll get into some of what he said coming up in just a bit, but I think some of the calls that you heard just there are maybe more important than them talking about Bobby Petrino. Guys, I don't know if you've seen that picture. And I don't know if it's fabricated. I could get on Instagram right now, take a picture of Christian Shawer and say location-wise that we're in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's not hard to do. Now, maybe there was a fan that actually did that and saw him on the way to a potential job interview. But that has been something I know people have talked about, the idea that, hey, what can Bobby Petrino and Taylon Green do in year two? Clay, you were just kind of alluding to it a little bit. I don't even know if your quarterback room's going to look the same this next season.
Yeah, you don't. And that's important. It's also important. And, we can kind of go through the problems of this season. And, it's like I was texting with someone just a little while ago. It's like all the fumbles and, leading FBS in number of fumbles. Oklahoma beat Arkansas in number of lost fumbles. And so what's the common denominator? It's offensive line play. Your quarterback gets hit, he's going to fumble. I mean, you hope he doesn't, but if he gets hit in the back trying to pass, there's going to be some fumbles. And they recovered some of them. But I went back yesterday and went through some of Petrino's teams. And when they had good offensive line play, they didn't have any fumbles. There were some years at Missouri State where they had 8 total fumbles, lost 5. And then another year when their offensive line was in turmoil, they had 20-something fumbles. So I think that's where they have to get better, and it's going to be in the portal. They've got to find better offensive line play to be able to protect your quarterback. Y'all want to talk about the game any?
Yeah, we got plenty of.
Well, I mean, but hang on. I want to make a point on this because I think that's still the thing I hear, and I think you guys probably do as well. Is that's the disconnect with the fan base. Sam Pittman's known as the offensive line guru. He's the guy that should solve the offensive line problems. I think people understand clearly he's the head coach, not the O-line coach. But that's the disconnect with the fans. Is why is the offensive line the leak wink when Sam Pittman's strength is offensive line?
Yeah, but it's not the same, Tommy. And that's what we don't get, is that everything is different than it was 4, 5, 6 years ago when you brought in offensive line recruits and there was no money to lose, a top, when he came from Tennessee, he signed 3, I think it was Denver Kirkland, Dan Skipper, and a guy named Kohler from Hawaii that didn't pan out. Then he got Ragnall the next year. Yeah. So those players, and then Sebastian Trottola, those players were the nucleus of what he had in offensive line, and he could develop them. I mean, he Frank Ragnall played guard, then he played center. Skipper played guard, then he played tackle. And you saw the development. They weren't very good. They got a little better. Then they were pretty good for 2 years. You can't do that anymore. You're going to you have to go get players out. There is no development anymore. So the idea that he's going to go get players and develop them is gone because of NIL. The transition is just incredible, and it's not like that just at Arkansas. But I think that you have to spend your NIL money quarterback, tailbacks, wide receiver, or you won't have an offense. You won't be able to throw and catch, won't be able to run it, and you also got to buy defensive tackles and offensive line. I mean, it's like, how much money do you have? So I think it's different now than it was when you could, over a period of years, develop offensive line. It's not like it once was. So that's the frustration, is that you think, well, yeah, but I don't see young players sticking around.
Well, here would be and I think everything you just presented is true, but isn't it the head coach's job to adapt to his surroundings and what the current state of college football is? That's what I think a lot of people, because again, everything you just said is accurate, but if that's the case,
I think if you can give him, $10 to $20 million, then yeah, I think you can adapt really well. So it is frustrating. In Ty, you understand NIL.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as simple as okay, we'll just adjust.
Mm-hmm.
Well, give him the money and he can adjust.
I think what's disheartening for Razorback fans, it's not so much Mississippi State, but they see an Arkansas guy in Eli Drinkwitz that's 4-1 against them. They see Lane Kiffin, who has his fan base supported. Now, they didn't finish where they wanted to this season in 9-3, and then they see kind of one-offs like Indiana and some of these other schools. And I know, like Vanderbilt in 6-6, that kind of went away a little bit, but they see other schools that are having success in this era, and they're wondering, and I think it's fair to wonder this, have we peaked under Sam Pittman after that 9-5, or excuse me, the 9-4 season in 2021? Is that the peak of what Arkansas football can be with the current head football coach, based on the structure and based on where Arkansas potentially is in the pecking order of college football NIL?
Yeah, I think that when you compare it to those schools, you look at their NIL. What's the difference between Missouri and Ole Miss and Arkansas right now? Go fund the NIL. And it's which comes first, chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's far as, if you're saying, do you want to change? You can say that if you want to, Ty. That's where you're going with this. I don't know what the answer is.
And I don't either. Hopefully someone does heading into next year.
Above my pay grade.
Yeah. All right, that is your opening drive this morning, brought to you by our friends Ethan Adamson, Emily, and their entire team at First Financial Mortgage. Ethan came recommended to me by a friend, and I'm so glad I followed through on that recommendation. He has over 300 5-star reviews, been with the company over 10 years at First Financial Mortgage. I had a great experience, and you can too. They have, again, a ton of great reviews that you can check out on Google. He's the best lender in town, might be the best golfer too. So if you're in the market of buying a house, refinancing, or you just have questions, give him a call at 479-782-9300 or go online to ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Let me tell you, can I have 30 seconds to tell a story about Ethan Addison?
Go right ahead. I bang my tooth against
because Clay will appreciate this. Last Wednesday, we finished the show, Clay. I go out to Hardscrabble, and I play a round of golf with Ethan, who plays from the back tees, because when Ty says he's a really good golfer, he's been club champion several times.
Yeah.
And
I mean, anybody
Clay, you'll
that goes to
appreciate
the
this.
back tees, I have respect for, but also question their intelligence.
Listen to what unfolded on the day before Thanksgiving. He shot a bogey-free 7-under par 63 with no eagles, and probably had 3 or 4 other birdie putts that could just as easily went in as they didn't. So
that's a guy
the
that
best
doesn't
round of
work
golf I've
very
ever
much,
witnessed.
right? He doesn't work very much.
I think he just got a lot of talent.
Oh,
so,
I'm joking. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
But I mean, it's fun for a golfer. That's fun to watch. I mean, I'll never do that, but that was fun to watch somebody.
That's not
completely,
an easy course. No, it's not.
Not an easy course, and particularly from the back tees. But best round I've ever seen in person, 63.
Rub off on you, Tommy? Did you have your personal best do that day?
What did they?
No, I mean, I shot like.
Yeah, the guys that played with Tiger, in the 98, 99, he's playing a game I'm not familiar with. That's what that guy was doing Wednesday.
So here,
I shot like a 78. Was happy.
Okay.
No, he lapped you, didn't he? Yeah.
You shot.
Did you play the back tees?
The whole field. No, I didn't even play the back tees.
Play the back tees.
Tell him he's not being social.
The answer to that question is always no, Clay, in that situation. I have a question that needs to be answered. Where do we need to plant our Morning Rush / ESPN Arkansas flag? Where can we plant that to tick someone off? I don't know how many there actually were this weekend. I think about altercations in Columbus, Ohio, Clemson, South Carolina. I mean, you go across college football. I mean, heck, there was pepper spray in the Horseshoe. It was unbelievable. Tommy Clay, I don't know if it's the Capitol. I don't know if it's the Arkansas campus somewhere at the athletics bar. Where do we need to plant our flag to tick someone off and get beaten up?
Well,
first of all, if you decide to plant a flag, look behind you and see who's with you. It won't be me.
I thought we were in this together.
Not when you do something stupid. I mean, if you plant a flag in somebody else's property, in somebody else's stadium, you're about to get your butt whipped and pepper sprayed.
So you're saying if I planted a flag and if I planted a Ty Richardson flag in the Henry household residence,
I wouldn't care. Okay. I wouldn't care. But, I mean, if you go down there and plant it like in front of the bus, I mean, they might not like it.
Okay. I need some ideas. Tommy, where do you think we should go to plant a flag?
I think David Basil can whip you.
He would truck me like he did in the 80s back in the day.
Yeah. I mean,
first of all, we don't have a flag, so we'd have to get a flag. But, I mean, you have to figure out who your competition is. So,
yeah.
I think it'd be more like Anchorman. We'd have to have some rules, all right? No hitting above the neck. We'd have a series of rules of all the things that couldn't happen in the fight before the fight occurred.
Michael says
my flag is a white flag. It's a white flag.
Michael actually,
I'll wave it. Hey, I give up. You win.
Michael says planted in Brian's yard. Evidently, Brian's in Fayetteville right now, wondering where I am, waiting to pay me money. So I don't know if he's actually going to do it or not. But we might need to. Do we have a mailbox in Fayetteville, Tommy? They can drop the $100 off that he owes me, so I don't have to plant this flag in his yard.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think we can make that happen.
Tell him to give it.
You're not going to get that 100. So.
Yeah.
We'll see. Ben in Little Rock says that Tommy, you need to go plant the flag in Zach Arn's office in the Springdale studio.
Well, he's on our team. He's not the.
I don't think I've been in that office. There's not any room for any flags. They've got so much stuff in those offices. I mean, it's so much. Would you call it memorabilia?
Junkyard, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like
it's a flea market.
Yeah,
Gene Ann would love it. It's a flea market. So.
Well, but Gene Ann really likes stuff that you can sell. I don't think any of it's got any value. It's just stuff. Maybe not.
Why do you think people gave it to them?
Well, again, altercations all over the place this weekend.
The pepper spray was a little bit much, I think.
Yeah. All right, we'll check in on a few other things. Morning Rush Daily Question, SEC update, all those things still ahead in the show, and your hog update is on the way. We are brought to you by friends at APAC. APAC has immediate openings in Northwest, North Central Arkansas, and all over the area. If you're looking for a job, APAC can help you with that. That's jobs.crh.com, jobs.crh.com.
So did you guys get a chance to watch other games this weekend? I mentioned those altercations. You guys take in any other SEC, non-SEC? I mentioned the Michigan-Ohio State game. Great ending to Clinton. And how about the ending to Georgia and Georgia Tech on Friday night? 8 overtimes. The Bulldogs come on top of the Yellow Jackets. I mean, guys, we had college football, NFL football, so many outcomes that went down to the wire this weekend.
I watched a little bit of everything, and a lot of football, a lot of basketball. I mean, we haven't even talked about the basketball game, the loss to Illinois. I got a little bit of chastised by my family. I guess it was sometime Saturday afternoon. I needed to do some things outside, and I put a fleece pullover, and it was a Razorback baseball pullover. You know, it's got the little, the ribby on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Have you already moved baseball season?" I didn't even realize what I'd done. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was an interesting weekend. Do you think that the overtime rule is already outdated? I mean, it's like, I think the NFL got it right, and I didn't think so, but I don't like this. I don't think things should be decided on 2-point plays. I mean, I think it's just, you're just rolling the dice to me. A one play to decide.
Yeah, I don't like it.
A national. I mean, it could decide the national championship. I think
Georgia Tech should have won that game.
Anybody.
Yeah. Up 2 touchdowns with 5 minutes to go. They couldn't figure it out.
They really played well for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I go back to the Arkansas football game. I thought they did a lot of good things in that game. And I mean, they played their butts off. To get that result is really sad.
Yeah. Well, fun weekend coming up, guys. As we got championship weekend, I'm looking here at the Bet Saracen app. They'll have all the lines for all the championship games for the weekend. Plus, the line is not up yet, but it's plus 115 for Miami, minus 145 for Arkansas in tomorrow's basketball game. And it says here still 19th ranked Hogs. I don't know where that'll come out today, so you can check out the line as it comes out. No over-under for that matchup. But all the lines for college football's championship weekend and a big week of college basketball, all at the Bet Saracen app. Download it. It's Arkansas's #1 mobile sports betting app with Bet Saracen.
More of the Morning Rush coming up with Clay Henry, sponsored by Arkansas Game and Fish next.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
This is former Razorback Jalen Tate, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert. And we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it.
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop. Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side. Nope, I saw him, Matt. You still do believe in Santa, right? Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess. A couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the interfacegram www. I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Ho, ho, ho.
But I hope they all understand there's a lot of mutual respect. I respect the crud out of Arkansas and their program and what they've built.
This is The Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The Paint Store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else. My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's. Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir. Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Turnovers got the better of the Razorback once again on Saturday. Here's Sam Pittman after the game on those fumbles.
Very frustrating. I mean, we work ball security every week and put an emphasis on it, and that's part of our ways that keys to our ways we can win. And we knew today with the weather, how it was, if, whoever turns the ball over last is going to win. And that's kind of exactly what happened.
Guys, I don't know if you realized where Arkansas was in the FBS and fumbles, but I had no idea that they were the worst team in college football in that statistic. Now, it's not turnovers, it's not turnover margin, but still to be up there that high is pretty bad. And then they flashed that graphic on the screen, and I had not
one leads to the other.
Yes.
You don't have lost fumbles if you don't have fumbles. But
Phil Elson and I talked about it 3 or 4 weeks ago when we realized they were leading the FBS at that time in not number of lost fumbles. They're not number one in that category, but just putting the ball on the ground. It's the glaring weakness of the team. There are 4 plays in the game. And, part of this is not just Arkansas turnovers. It's not forcing turnovers.
That's a good point.
They forced turnovers last year. They scored as much as anybody defensively last year. They stayed in games, pick six, scooping scores, those sort of things. And they just haven't forced turnovers this year. So it's not, it's not just they're turning it over. They're not forcing any. But there were 4 plays in the game. The recipe for, an upset of a ranked team on the road is you don't make mistakes in kicking game, you win the turnover battle, and you don't give up big plays. And in the fourth quarter, they gave up 2 huge plays. One was, and it was, in both cases, it was rolling the dice on defense, trying to pressure. They punted them back to the 10. Missouri had the ball, and Arkansas, they got in zero coverage where they had no safeties in the middle of the field, and they threw the pass, the little hitch pass, and receiver went 80. That set up a field goal. But the killer to me was you've got a quarterback that is, that his favorite play is a quarterback draw, and you leave the middle of the field open. And it looked like the nickel busted. that they had been playing a middle linebacker and a nickel is in those situations where they, and
it's like a spy.
Yeah, well, they had no spy, so they have a middle linebacker against a quarterback and a running back. And the running back, all he had to do was shield him. He didn't even touch him. He just got in his, stood in his way, and everybody had their back turned because they're in man, and it was over pretty quick. I mean, you could tell after, he broke free that he was going to score.
Wow.
And those two plays defensively were the only ones where I thought, okay, they made mistakes. Played pretty much a perfect game. In offense, I thought they battled pretty hard. I thought Bobby Petrino called a masterful game. There were some drops, but it's, and I would not want to be trying to throw and catch in those conditions. There were some passes that might have been a little behind or whatever, but again, like I watched the Buffalo San Francisco game, and throwing and catching in those conditions, where your footing is off, your hands are cold. I'm amazed that there were only 2 turnovers in the game.
Yeah, Clay, to your point about Arkansas's defense, Brady Cook went 10 for 20. I mean, it's not like he had a good game. They just, again, outlasted.
You could tell
Arkansas.
he couldn't grip the ball.
Yeah.
It was coming out funny. And I thought they battled in the running game, and I thought they tackled pretty well and fought. That's a hard one to swallow.
Yep. Eli Drinkwitz after the game did address his comments about Talon Green. Here's what Coach said.
I mean, there's a better part of 2 hours on sports radio getting after me because I mispronounced the quarterback's name. And like I told Talon Green, that was me being genuine. He's a heck of a player. He's a great player, great quarterback. And by no means was I being disrespectful to him.
Now I just want to know, which show is he referencing? Chuck and Bo?
Well, I can tell you,
all of them.
All of them, because I got texts from some of his coaching buddies. I got multiple texts on, what would that have been? I've lost track of my days. Wednesday?
Yeah.
Whenever, because I was
you were fired up.
Pretty good. He's got family in Alma, so he did that with purpose. He did it with intention, and he got a good laugh out of it, and that's fine. He got the last laugh because the win's what you wanted, and I was hoping, but don't even pretend like you really didn't know how to say his name. He did that to get the reaction he got out of people like me and Chuck and Bo and others that got after him on the radio because that's what he wanted.
He did
He doesn't really care what we think. He doesn't. Because if he did,
no, he doesn't.
He would take care and not let stuff like that happen. It's I've seen coaches do that intentionally. And Danny Ford used to not say the names of the other players. He just called them by number. And he did that out of disrespect, too. He knew their names. And that's just the way coaches are sometimes.
That is your Hog Update this morning, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with Benny Malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, we got our Morning Rush Daily Question coming up. More calls and texts. We've got a couple callers on hold. We will get to those coming up in just a bit. Tommy.
Hey, we are brought to you by our friends at Oaklawn Sports. If you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn Sports app, do that. Conference Championship weekend is finally here. Woo. Playoff implications are on the line, and you can download the Oaklawn Sports app in the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store. New customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. It's really simple. Once you deposit your first deposit, you automatically enrolled with second chance bets up to for the first 10 days up to $100. Bet with the brand you know anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Radio getting after me because I mispronounced the quarterback's name. And like I told Talon Green, that was me being genuine. He's a heck of a player. He's a great player, great quarterback. And by no means was I being disrespectful to him.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
I should say it?
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop.
Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side.
Nope, I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right?
Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess, a couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the interfacegram www.
I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Ho, ho, ho.
This is the Morning Rush.
This is the game that they are saying national championship. And we're floating in a sea of red.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Lindsay, what's going on this month?
We have the new Kawasaki Ridge side-by-sides in stock. Most of them have a full cab with heat and air. They have a 1000cc inline 4-cylinder engine. We also have new Kawasaki Brute Force 450s and 750s in stock. And we are stocked up for dirt bikes and ATVs for the holiday season. Come by and see us or visit WheelerPowersports.com.
Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. the return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon, and faithful friends like hearty cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
All right, welcome back into the Morning Rush. We've got our Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Fire away, Tommy.
Will Bobby Petrino be part of the Arkansas coaching staff in 2025? That's the Morning Rush Daily Question. Ty, will he be a part of this staff?
No. I don't think so. I think the fact.
Why do you feel that way?
Because when I see a credible outlet like Whole Hog Sports reporting that he's a candidate, that worries me. It's one thing if I just see something on Twitter, but when I actually see,
the Football Scoop had like 8 names, 7 or 8, 6 or 8 names that were candidates for the Charlotte job. Does the photo of him allegedly in an airport, I don't know if that's real or not.
And again, it's so
on a
easy.
jetway.
I could take a picture of Christian right now
Back of his head.
and say we're in Charlotte. It's not hard to do. Location.
Well, you don't even know it's Charlotte. Yeah, I mean, it was the back of his head, right? Carrying a bag.
Yeah, and they had the location of Charlotte as the Charlotte airport. But, yeah,
Which, by the way, there's nonstop flights that go from XNA to Charlotte every day.
Yeah, but
that's
where's he flying?
The most commonly used route. So you connect through Charlotte to go to a lot. I'm connecting from New York through Charlotte to come back to XNA next week from New York City.
Maybe
so,
I'm just salty because
they
they just lost in Columbia again for the umpteenth time. Maybe throughout the week, if this progresses, he's still not named the coach, and maybe I'll feel better about it. But if you're asking me at 9:43, as you're doing on Monday morning, I'm going to say no. He's not going to be in the Arkansas staff next year.
He's flying somewhere.
Clay, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have enough information either way to make a guess. It might come down to the money. It doesn't look like it's a big difference between what they were paying their coach and what Petrino's getting now. But that's not to say if Charlotte wants to pay another $250,000, $500,000, and you think, well, would you go for $250,000? That's a lot of money, guys. I mean, it's like. So the base for the Charlotte job is $1 million, and then there looks like another $900,000. So then you're making like 1.5 at Arkansas.
That sounds right. I don't have it.
Yeah.
I don't have it on the top of my head.
The pay is similar, but the Charlotte job probably pays a little more. Do you want to be a head coach? I don't know. His family is in Springfield or around.
Yeah.
I don't. There's some things that you'd say, well, maybe not. Sometimes though, do you want to just reset the clock? Like if you become a head coach at Charlotte, you've got 2 or 3 more years. Is what's going to happen next year at Arkansas? That's the $64 million question. And when I say $64 million, that's about what it cost to change staff.
Jeez Louise. Well, hey, let's hear what Pittman said. This isn't necessarily directly correlated with Bobby Petrino, but really his whole staff.
I got a good staff, so I think there'll be guys that have opportunities to do something. I think they enjoy it here at Arkansas, and I'd like to have them come back, but we'll wait and see.
And will there be a domino effect in college football? For those that don't know, Gus Malzahn leaving UCF to take the Florida State offensive coordinator position. Didn't expect that. What could change in Tallahassee, or not Tallahassee, I should say, Orlando, when it comes to that position? T-Will was there. And again, this is just me. I don't even know if I'm connecting the dots, but I'm just having that. The position coach for defensive coordinator at Florida State, I think, is still open. Marcus Woodson was there. So just, again, you're thinking about this. Tommy, you always say you don't want to hire, and I think, Clay, you've said this too, you don't want to hire guys and keep guys that no one else wants. It's just a part of the business. But that would be a pretty big hit if you lost one or both of these guys in the offseason, your offensive and defensive coordinator.
Well, but I think it also speaks to the idea, Clay, of NIL and the challenge it creates for a head coach when a guy like Gus Malzahn's willing to, hey, I've had my time in the big chair. I'll just be an OC and not have to deal with all this NIL stuff. I think there's something to that as well, and we're seeing it more and more. And I think Gus is the latest example.
Yeah, and sometimes you're trying to stay one step ahead of the posse. It's like, what's his future there? Was it about up? Did he know that it was about up? I mean, was he encouraged? Hey, this is, we give you an ultimatum. Was he about to lose a bunch of coaches and has to change? So it's like sometimes
it's also about Norvell saving his job too, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's also about Norvell.
But there's going to be constant upheaval in college football. It's a different time, and we don't even know what is going to happen with the court case, in California that may not be decided till April. And it's like, so just think about the head coaches, and I'm not just talking about Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
What's your pitch to players? What can you tell them that they're going to get, and know that it's the truth, because we may not know the truth. So it is really convoluted. I go back, and I think I've made this correlation or whatever. Back in COVID, things just seem to change every 2 weeks. Like where we're going to play games, we're going to have people in the stands, or players going to get a whole year of eligibility back. I mean, it was just constant upheaval. And what we said 1 week, 2 weeks later was not true. And I think that we're still in that constant upheaval. Mm-hmm. And the playoffs are the same thing.
They are.
We don't know what it's going to be like in 2 years from now, or even next year. They may tear it all up. And the SEC and the Big Ten, they look around and they don't get their way. Who wins, who doesn't win. I watched some of these teams that are going to be in the playoffs, and they don't compare to what I saw between Arkansas and Missouri as far as offensive line and defensive line play. They just don't. And I'm not a big believer that SMU could fit and roll through, the Big Ten or the SEC with one loss. And that's not to say that they get lucky and things happen for them. I pull for Rhett Lashley. I like him a lot. But it's just I don't know that there's anything that I could say and write down and put it in concrete and it be true a year from now.
All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush daily question. They had people in last week. You can check it out at cartpasssocial.com. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, the #1 indoor golf facility in Arkansas. To the phone lines we go. Brent is waiting in Searcy. Brent, you're on the Morning Rush.
Yes, Tommy and Clay, how are you guys doing today?
Good,
Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too, buddy.
I have some major concerns. And my concerns is I know that it's probably 100% done that Coach Pittman's staying. My concerns is that our staff does not take care of the minute details. And the minute details are things such as Taylon Green holding onto the ball, DeQuindon Jackson holding onto the ball, and all running backs. We lead the nation in fumbles this past year. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And who's to say that has our program gone to the level where we're supposed to be accepting of 6-6 every year? That's my question, and I appreciate y'all letting me ask my question before you cut me off, before you go to Sterling and Center Ridge, like Chuck and Bo do every day. I'm afraid that they don't want to hear my take on things such as that. And I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you too, Brent. Happy Thanksgiving. By the way, Clay, Tommy, happy Thanksgiving. Tommy, I know you're dealing with some stuff right now. I know it's a few days later, but hopefully you had a good holiday. Here's what I'll look at with Arkansas football right now is the last 3 seasons, and I got text about this weekend. You went 6-6, 4-8, 6-6. You look at the schedule next year, regardless of who you bring in, it's going to be difficult to get to 6 wins. You got Memphis on the road. You got Notre Dame, who's a college football playoff team, at home next year. You've got Arkansas State and Little Rock. That entire fan base, that entire athletics department is trying to win that game next year. Then you've got the 4 toughest road games, arguably, in the Southeastern Conference. Going to Oxford, going to Knoxville, going to Baton Rouge, and going to Austin. Like, it is going to be difficult to get to 6 wins this year, or next year, I should say. So you're in this, purgatory where you're just trying to make bowl eligible. No, that is not what this fan base wants, is just to make a bowl game. I don't know what the remedy is. I really don't. Clay, you were joking about it earlier. It's like, that's above my pay grade. Maybe it's above mine, too. But this idea that we should be happy with 6 wins is ludicrous.
Well, who's suggesting that? I mean, I don't hear a lot of people suggesting that we should be satisfied at 6 wins. But the idea that you're going to win 9 or 10.
Happy. No, I don't think there's any apathy in that. I think that, I think that, you got to look forward and try to, figure out the solution. And it starts with, with raising more money. And that would be the goal no matter who the coach is. And I think that the idea that, you can change coaches and come up with 60. I mean, right now, firing head coaches is pretty much off the table at most Power 4 schools because of the buyouts.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're about to go into revenue sharing that's going to cost you $22 million, and you have to pay $60-something million, and when I say that, you got to pay off head coach and staff, and then you have to pay off head coach buyouts to bring in another coach, or you bring in a Division II coach, and I don't think anybody has advocated that. So it's like it's like, show me the money.
Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Always the best brands and great service from Lee J. Chris and their entire team. Get by and see Lee J. and Chris. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Arkansas takes on Miami down there in the ACC SEC Challenge. Back home for UT San Antonio. Find tickets at the official ticket partner of the Arkansas Razorbacks at SeatGeek.com. SeatGeek.com for Arkansas basketball tickets.
RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Get the best deals of the year on select New Holland tractors and hay equipment right now at WT Equipment during New Holland's year-end value bonanza. Get the biggest savings with cash back plus 0% interest, $0 down, and 0 due until 2025. Don't miss your chance to harvest our best deals on New Holland's best equipment during value bonanza now at WT Equipment. Offer ends December 31st or while supplies last. For commercial use only. Subject to credit approval and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
This is the Morning Rush.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hi everybody, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Unto us a child is given, and his name shall be Wonderful, Counselor, Emmanuel, God with us. Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. From all of our families here at Blaylock, we would like to wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.
Hey, Todd Richardson for Jam Mart. Brad, Tyson, and their entire team are so thankful this time of year during the holidays. We appreciate all of our customers that enjoy the beverage bar at Boonville, the hot food at Phoenix, and the deli at Jam Mart number 10. We know you're loving the updated pumps at our gas stations, and we're continuing to strive to find new creative ways to improve every single day. If you love Jam Mart, please leave us a 5-star review on Google. Happy holidays from your friends at Jam Mart.
Call the Hogs with Razorback women's basketball this season for exciting matchups inside the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, Bud Walton Arena.
All the changes we've had, the one thing that stayed really same is I'm going to coach them as hard as I'm going to love them.
Experience great family fun and entertainment by cheering on the Hogs along with the Hog Wild Band, cheerleaders, dance team, and mascot.
Charlie inside, up with the ball, fouled, and one.
Tickets start at just $5 at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures in the upper 40s north, upper 50s south, with temperatures across the north falling into the lower 40s. Clear skies. We're going to cool things down all the way in the low to mid 20s overnight. Sunshine Tuesday, a high well into the middle 40s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
I got a good staff, so I think there'll be guys that have opportunities to do something. I think they enjoy it here at Arkansas, and I'd like to have them come back, but we'll wait and see.
Hey, welcome into hour number 2 of the Morning Rush here on a Hot Take Monday. Tommy asked a good question earlier. Is Bobby Petrino on this staff next year? Tommy didn't really do a good job. You failed. I say you failed. You didn't get a chance to answer your own question. Do you think he's on staff this next year as we get going in hour 2?
I seem to think he will be. There's a lot of candidates for the job. I don't know that the job in Charlotte is one that I would consider a step up. Now, I mean, what is a step up anymore in college sports? I don't know. I mean, we saw Gus Malzahn head out to Florida State as the OC versus head coach at UCF. So I guess it depends on the perspective of the one trying to choose. Do you want to be on the move again with your family? The fact that he was allegedly in the Charlotte airport doesn't lead me to believe he's destined to take that job. But I tend to think he'll be here, and I think he may be here even if Sam Pittman decided to do something else.
Isn't it just so funny how Arkansas fans are just, and I'm very much, I don't want to pull myself out of this group because I'm as nuts as any of them, but I say that other SEC fan bases are like this, but it's so funny how flight tracking or you see this picture circulating or various other things, and it's go. You run with it. It is a Hot Take Monday, so maybe that's a hot take this morning. What is your hot take here this morning? It's always brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV, Tommy.
Yeah, Wheels RV is 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Lee, Jay, Chris, and their entire team are awesome at everything they do, including the not just the customer service, but the brands they provide, like Grand Design, Forest River, Brinkley. When they go to work for you, they're going to get the right RV that fits the needs you have, has the features you want, and then they'll back it up with a lifetime warranty with every new RV they sell. That's Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
All right, let's go to the home of the Yellow Jackets. Welcome in our friend Melvin this morning in Sheridan. Melvin, what's going on, man?
Well, again, I'm not going to tell nobody how to run nothing because I don't have no money on the line. But business-wise, I don't see that we need to fire nobody. And if anybody was being kind of business-like, wouldn't you get everything lined up to really go at something big time and hold things to your best instead of run folks off, get more behind in money? College football, for what y'all have been saying, it's all about money. You got to save it to spend it. And you can't go in the hole or start out behind because you never catch up, right? Tommy, you're a businessman, is that right?
Well, I mean, if you had the luxury to save anymore, that's I agree with you, the premise of what you're saying, Melvin. But how do you save when you got a $25 million revenue sharing piece that's coming? There's no time, and also you're going to have reduced distributions from the NCAA moving forward. So we're getting ready to find out how good a businessmen these ADs really are. It's been pretty easy when you had a lot of money flowing in and you didn't have to save any, and you could just pay everybody a bunch of money. Now you're going to have to cut corners. You're going to have to cut costs. You're going to have to make wise deals and contracts. We're getting ready to enter a different era of how these things are administrated.
They're cutting the media food, Tommy.
Well, I mean, you might be right. I mean, they're going to have to make some changes to make all the – and you don't do it all with – trying to raise $25 more million. Some schools will be able to do that, and they'll go above and beyond that. Others will cut cost and then try to find the sweet spot in the middle, and I think Arkansas falls into that category.
Melvin, what do you think of this season in a nutshell? 6-6, you lose in Columbia again. What is your aspect and outlook on this season?
I can deal with it, sir, because I don't have to pay the players and I don't have to pay the coaches. I'm not that invested like it used to be. I wanted to bring back the clock and ask y'all, wasn't it refreshing when we was just waiting for 25 to 30 kids to sign, and it's like Christmas morning?
Yeah.
And now it's Christmas every day.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. But what I'm going to say is, don't you think that we ought to just ride this out and find somebody who can do more with less? Because that's the way it's looking.
When you say ride this out, what do you mean? Wait till Sam
I'm
retires?
talking about let Sam ride out his contract. Don't put another day on it, but don't buy out. Do y'all realize how much money we have wasted by paying these coaches to sit on their rear end and not do anything?
Oh, we're not alone, though. You're right. We're not alone in that.
But we could. But what I'm saying is, we wouldn't have been no different if Bert, and I'm saying his name facetiously, if Brett had stayed and he hadn't started all this by paying off, and we ain't no different spot than when that man was here.
Well, I got an idea. Chasen Fort, it's not my idea. I'm just going to pass along. Chasen Fort Smith advocates to put Tommy Kraft in charge of the NIL budget because I guarantee you it would be better than it is right now.
It's hard
Appreciate it, Melvin.
It's harder to raise the money than it is to figure out how to spend the money, but got to have it to spend it.
Is that a strength of Hunter Yurchek, fundraising? I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
I'll say yes, because you've got a Tyson logo and a Walmart logo out there. He's been able to make the hires that have excited those that would put some money in. So clearly Walmart and Tyson have put money into the program because we see evidence of it by their logos being on the court at Bud Walton and the field at Donald W. Reynolds this year, or whatever we're calling that stadium now. So yes, I'd say he's been a pretty decent fundraiser because he's found ways. The Slobber Hog was done out of fundraising efforts. So, yeah, I'd say he's been more than passable there.
So I mentioned Sheridan. We should mention you've got high school state playoffs and state championship games this week, and some have been decided, at least the state championship game. Shiloh and Greenwood will be playing for the 6A title. Bryan and Benville, Tommy, the 7A title. Parkview and Farmington for the 5A title. And then you've got some semifinal matchups, too, like now help me on this. It's not Fort Smith Southside. It's Southside something.
Southside Batesville.
Okay, thank you.
Southside.
And Arkadelphia, Elkins at Mills, Fordyce at Bismarck, Salem at Mansfield, and then you've also got Conway Christian against EPC this Friday at noon for the battle for the 2A title.
Yeah, you got four championship games this weekend, 2A, 5A, 6A, 7A. The next weekend will be the 3 and 4A on Saturday. So it's not new this year, but it's different than the way it's always been. It was that way last year as well, where the 2A fits into that first weekend, and then you got the semifinals. So there's 4 other games. You got 4 championship games and 4 semifinal games this weekend, and high school football is quickly coming to a close around the state.
Quentin in Clarksville wanted me to ask you, how cold was Friday night in Dardanelle?
Oh, it was fine. I mean, it was cool, but that's the first time I've been on a grass field in a while, and that was different. Your body feels different the next day, but I was dressed appropriately, and nice. I didn't get cold till the last 2, 3, 4 minutes of the game.
Did you wear that?
My hands started getting cold.
Did you wear that jacket that we got you a couple years ago underneath your?
No, it wasn't that cold,
okay.
but. You had the battery-operated jacket.
Yeah, from Richard Jelko.
Yep, it didn't quite call for that yet. It was in the upper 30s.
I thought about you last night. I texted our friend Brett Good just about what it's like playing in the snow. Watching those refs last night in Buffalo, New York, with this cold and as snowy as it was. That's like I'm watching this game. Not only did I feel for the players, but I was like, that must not be fun to be an official in either.
Yeah, but they got those nice NFL hand warmers that perfectly fit there, and you got to find a way to keep your hands warm. That's the hard part. And as the referee, when you got to talk, I've been cold enough a few years ago in a playoff game where your lips get so cold you can't speak to tell what the foul is. I mean that's no fun either. So
good grief.
That's where it was at. Hey, we're brought to you by WT Equipment. They got the best deals of the year right now before the end of the year on model year 2023 and select 2024 Workmaster and Boomer compact tractors. Right now you can choose 0% financing for up to 72 months or take $8,000 in cash back right now. In fact, that's $8,500 in cash back. Or for a limited time, get a free loader with your purchase right now at WT Equipment. Harvest the best deals of the year. It's the Value Bonanza. WT Equipment, they're in Springdale and 7 other locations. Find them online at WTEquip.com.
Hey, this is Cam Little, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Arkansas, 80 yards.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Are you ready to ride like a rock star? Then contact Luxury Limousines. Their 28-foot stretch limousines set up to 8 people. Once you're inside, enjoy superior sound, enhanced lighting, ice-cold AC, plus your own chauffeur to take you anywhere. College games, concerts, special events, and the upcoming Christmas holiday light tours. Just go to Facebook and like Luxury Limousine. Serving Fort Smith and all of Northwest Arkansas. Luxury Limousines.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing, the SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
All right, back here for your SEC update. Eli Drinkwitz talked about Talon Green after the game.
I mean, there's a better part of 2 hours on sports radio getting after me because I mispronounced the quarterback's name. And like I told Talon Green, that was me being genuine. He's a heck of a player. He's a great player, great quarterback. And by no means was I being disrespectful to him.
It's just a shame that he didn't.
How is that being genuine? I wish I'd have been there to press him on that, but how is mispronouncing someone's name being genuine?
Meaning he didn't mean to, I guess.
That's what I was
thinking. Bull butter. Bull butter.
I've never heard that phrase until I started working with you. I like it, though. Bull butter.
That's a Roy D.
See, you're telling me if we put Eli Drinkwitz in a polygraph and asked him about that it would start going when he was
absolutely. Because I was getting texts during our show, after our show. He knew what was going on. When we got after him on Wednesday, it was mainly me. He was getting updates. He's got family that lives in Alma. He's got coaches that he's very well connected to. We know a lot of the same people. We have some of the same family, in fact.
Yeah.
He was well aware of what was being said. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know this for a fact. Wouldn't be surprised if he hadn't gotten on that Hit That Line Now app and he wasn't listening. So he may be listening right now. He keeps up with us more. He keeps up with our stuff more than you think he does. I promise you. I know so.
He's twisting the knife. 4-1 against Arkansas.
He got the ultimate deal. He got the win.
Yeah.
And that's what matters at the end, and that's what makes me madder than what he said or mispronounced is he got the win. And that's what really makes me mad.
And he's building up the rivalry.
There's a lot of people that don't like me down in that state, which is good. I mean, it builds the rivalry. We need this.
Again, I kind of like him. He's grown on me. It's the opposite. Some people wear on you. He's grown on me because you know what?
You like him or you like
I like
to
him
hate
or respect him. He keeps winning.
Yeah.
He keeps winning.
There's a difference, though. That doesn't mean you have to like him.
I kind of like how he does it, to be honest.
He's definitely got luck on his side when it comes to playing.
Well, give you this. He backs it up.
That he does.
And the fact that they went 9-3 this year, the fact that they went 9-3 and it feels like a disappointing year tells you the job he's done at Missouri.
Bart says he's a jerk and he's a punk. I think
that's what he wants you to think about him too. Till he's your jerk and punk, and I don't know that he'll ever be that, but that's the reality. That's what he wants you to think. He's trying to fan the flames of this rivalry, and I do appreciate that part.
Well, we should also mention, I know this was, and we hadn't talked about this in the first hour and 18 minutes of the morning rush. Landon Jackson, I know his health has been something fans are still been wondering about, even on Monday. Maybe you hadn't heard about it just yet. Here's Coach after the game.
I want to tell you that Landon Jackson is back in the locker room and doing well. He's been released, so that was great news.
That was a scary situation, Tommy, just the way it all went down with the medical care flight, not care flight, but the medical card and everything. Just anytime you see that on a football field during a game is always concerning, but at least he was in the locker room after the game.
Well, the good news is at Missouri, the hospital's across the street, so you don't have far to go when something happens. Their facilities are literally right there. And so him getting back to the stadium was quick as well. But, you saw the hit, and it didn't look vicious. It didn't look nasty or anything. Neck stinger or whatever happened. And you understand why they take the precautions. And I'm of the opinion that was the last moment we'll ever see Landon Jackson in a Razorback uniform.
Yeah, he is done. I would be shocked if he played in the bowl game. All right, that is your SEC update. Well, actually, no, it's not. We've got plenty of outcomes. So Georgia wins in 8 overtimes against Georgia Tech. Epic game, 44-42. Ole Miss gets it done in the Egg Bowl. Tommy, that was a lot closer than I thought it'd be. They only won 26-14 in Vaught-Hemingway Friday night.
Well, they made that kind of a game early.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Vanderbilt-Tennessee game. We saw that early where the kind of the underdog and generally the team that lost came out, led early, maybe like in the Georgia Tech game, led for a while, only to only to surrender that lead, and ultimately a lot of the favorites ended up winning. In fact, mostly favorites won when you look down the scoreboard.
Texas went on the road 17-7. Tennessee, though, were down early to Vanderbilt, like you were saying, with kind of those teams. They win 36-23. They have punched their ticket to the college football playoff. I don't really care what happens this weekend.
They're the best spot of all.
Yep, I would wholeheartedly agree with
them
that.
and Texas. I think Texas and Tennessee are locks. If Georgia loses to Texas, I'm not sure they're in.
Okay, even here's a question for you. Between South Carolina and Alabama, you've got South Carolina being Clemson, Alabama being Auburn this weekend. Alabama's got the head-to-head win, even though it was really close in Tuscaloosa. Who's sitting prettier right now? I think that if I remember right, South Carolina, it's either 4 of their 6 or 5 of their 7 last wins have been against top 25 opponents. Tommy, there's no one who's playing better in college football right now than South Carolina Gamecocks, and I think they should be the 4th team, to be honest.
So do you think you trust the committee to do that, or to put Alabama in?
No, they would put Bama in before South Carolina. That's why Beamer was screaming from the rooftops in the press conference and the post-game interview, but he doesn't have a leg to stand on because of the Alabama loss. Now, if they had won in Tuscaloosa, different story. But if Alabama gets in before them, then it's kind of hard to justify, even though that was a really good football game that day in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
So you think it's 2 teams are locked in from the SEC, or do you think it's 3?
3 teams are locked in. Texas, Georgia, and Tennessee are locked in. Doesn't matter what happens in the SEC championship in Atlanta this weekend. Both of those teams have made it. And now we'll just see which other SEC team potentially gets in. That's why the conference championship this weekend are so interesting. And maybe UNLV gets in. Coach Odom and company.
Yeah. If they win, they will.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll get that, and they'll – now, if I read this and understand it right, correct me if I'm wrong, they would be that conference champion from the group of 6 and would have that spot as well. Would they end up hosting, or would they wouldn't have the bye?
It's the top 4 conference champions in the rankings get a bye, Tommy. So it depends on where the other champions shake out in the other conferences. Like the SEC and Big Ten are going to be up top, but as far as the ACC, Big 12, there's no Pac-12. But as far as they go, that's going to be the intriguing part of this.
And then everybody's assumed it's Boise, but I'll be rooting hard for UNLV this weekend. All right, that's your SEC updates brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. If you're feeling stressed out, Lord knows I am this morning. We can talk about my morning later on. De-stress for less with a hot tub sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Melt away the stress with the world's best-selling hot tubs designed to rejuvenate your home and rejuvenate your body and your mind at home for you, and save up to $7,000 right now. Free local delivery, installation, and water testing as well, so you can treat yourself to pure relaxation with a hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. They're in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland as well. That's Burton Pools and Spas, and online at burtonpools.com.
Well, there's more stress to add to Tommy's plate this morning. There are rumors circulating about that Big C is going to enter the transfer portal and jump on to another media entity. Tommy, you're going to have to empty the coffers to keep him. So just to add to your already stressful morning here at 10:23, that's something else that you're going to have to contemplate in the next couple days. So,
we wish you the best, Big C. We wish you the best.
It's the first I've heard of that.
Well, it's online, so we know it's true.
Was there a picture of Big C in the Muskogee airport or something that we missed? Not Charlotte, but maybe Muskogee.
I think it was the Hamburg terminal.
Was it the Stuttgart FBO? So
he was in Duck Gumbo this week, and they caught him. They caught him there.
Were you headed to the Gillette Coon Supper? Where were you headed? So. When is that, by the way? When do you send Ty down there for that?
I want to go to that, and I want to go to the Slovak oyster supper. There's plenty of suppers here across the net. You got to stay right, suppers across the natural state. We'll continue on the morning rush coming up in just a bit. I want to hear more from Sam Pittman. What do you think about this season? 6-6, hands up, hands down. We'll talk about it next.
Yep. I know there's a lot of people that don't like me. They made sure to tell me about it when I was in the stadium last year. We have to have a rivalry. You got to create it somehow. Yeah.
This is the Morning Rush.
I love my life, love my husband.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Get the best deals of the year on select New Holland tractors and hay equipment right now at WT Equipment during New Holland's year-end value bonanza. Get the biggest savings with cash back plus 0% interest, $0 down, and 0 due until 2025. Don't miss your chance to harvest our best deals on New Holland's best equipment during value bonanza now at WT Equipment. Offer ends December 31st or while supplies last. For commercial use only. Subject to credit approval and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
New season, new faces, new stories.
The anticipation is through the roof.
NFL Plus Premium gives you more access to the sport you love. Watch future NFL stars take the field and never miss a moment of live football action this season. With live out-of-market preseason games on mobile and TV, game replays, NFL Network, and more, all in one place. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Subscription required for NFL Plus.
This is the Morning Rush.
Somebody get him a plane ticket for New York City. Christmas shopping is easy at Jelco Outdoors with so many great gift ideas for those on your shopping list. Save 25% off all Yeti and Yukon Outfitter ice chests, coolers, tumblers, and cups. A large selection of the footwear and clothing for work to the woods. Archery, hunting, and fishing gear for those that enjoy the great outdoors. If in doubt, a Jelco gift card is always a perfect fit. Jelco Outdoors, your one-stop Christmas shopping destination store. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. And Merry Christmas from Jelco Outdoors.
Remember the classic Massey Ferguson tractors, straightforward, dependable, tough as nails, and easy to run? It's those classic models that inspired the Massey Ferguson 2600H series, as durable and reliable as the classics, with up to 74 horsepower and more comfort so you can work harder. The Massey Ferguson 2600H series. It's everything you want and need in a tractor. See one at Bush Machine and Tractor Company or visit bushtractor.com to learn more.
Looking for a healthcare provider that truly listens to you? At Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, their team of nurse practitioners offer personalized healthcare with their in-house labs. Get fast results. Elite Wellness goes beyond just treating symptoms. Their holistic approach addresses the root causes of your well-being. Whether it's preventative care, illness, or exploring natural treatments, your health journey begins with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. Call 479-242-9355 for your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Coming, and they get him back at the 42-yard line. How about Brad Spence, a native of Houston, a loss of 3, and Texas is going to have to punt.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
So rivalry week was nuts this weekend.
Warren looking. Allison accepted at the goal line. Unbelievable. Wow, Jack Sawyer, the hero, Captain Jack.
Tommy, you know what that reminded me of is hearing Gus Johnson all the call in that Ohio State-Michigan game. You remember that one morning, and this only happened once in 6 years. Remember that one morning I showed up and my voice was just gone? I just couldn't talk. And so you and Chuck just ended up doing the show that morning. But you knew rivalry weekend was so nuts.
Best show ever.
That guy, hey, easy. That Gus Johnson lost his voice this weekend. Ohio State loses. Ryan Day's probably going to get canned, isn't he?
Well, I mean, he's, 47-1 against other opponents in the Big Ten, and he's 1-4 or whatever against Michigan. So, yeah, that's the number that matters.
The last four.
That's what will get you fired. Hey, this hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by our friends at Sawyer Sunrooms. Buzz is such a great guy and has been around for more than 30 years. Locally owned outfit, locally operated. Buzz is right there. I mean, his name's on the door, his name's on the business. It's Sawyer Sunrooms at 8605 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. And they don't do just sunrooms. They do patio covers, they do pergolas, they do driveways, they'll put new windows in your home. If your concrete outside is worn down and got cracks and maybe fallen in places, they can pour you a new driveway or sidewalks or whatever you need, including decorative concrete that's maybe stained or colored or got the patterns in it. They do all of those kind of things as well. Pergolas are really hot right now. A lot of folks want a pergola to sit underneath or maybe to put their grills under or a hot tub under. They can do even the new louvered pergolas that have the motorized louvers so you can create your own shade as well. And 100% financing available on all of these projects and jobs that we just talked about. No jobs too big or small. They're licensed, bonded, and insured on all sizes of projects, and you can count on their quality workmanship, lifetime products with lifetime warranties as well. That's Sawyer Sunrooms, 8605 Highway 271 South at Fort Smith, or see them online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
My dad just sent me a leak of the Slovak oyster supper. We got Quentin in Clarksville saying that we need to go experience duck gumbo. There's plenty of festivals. There's plenty of suppas. There's plenty of things across this natural state. Suppas across this natural state that I come in for supper that I want to experience.
Where is Slovak?
It's basically a
right outside of Stuttgart.
Yeah, it's right outside of Stuttgart. I almost call it. It's not a subsidiary, and I wouldn't even call it a what's the word I'm thinking?
Suburb.
Suburb. Yeah. I wouldn't even call it that. I think it has less than 1,000 people. I've got two friends that are from there, Chris and Chandler. But
I was a part of the Ullum Civic Club.
So
yeah, they had like a dove supper or whatever.
Okay, so I guess we need to go there. We're also going to go to the hotline where our friend Cecil is waiting. Cecil, you're on the Morning Rush, man.
Good morning, fellas. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Actually, I'm getting a very, very, very slow start. So I turned my TV on, and I saw Bo and Chuck on here. So I'm like, I'm about to answer the questions they were talking about, but that was a rerun. And then I heard Todd talking and Tommy. I'm like, oh, well. So here we go.
Woke up in the Twilight Zone. So
yeah, I woke up in the Twilight Zone. And I just want to say Actually, they were talking about the quarterback. No, it wasn't the quarterback. The transfer portal and all of that. So yeah, it's a big thing. It's like the college. It's like a draft basically every year with the portal. And I just hope we can do better. And there's some things we got to fix because we definitely not scoring enough points. And everybody has their opinion. I'm not slandering nobody, but the quarterback position definitely need to tighten up some screws. I'm not. I like the guy, but
all right. So, Cecil, that's I gotta not stop you there, but I gotta ask you this. We've talked about it a little bit. If the transfer portal opens up and Talon enters it, do you think that's good for Arkansas? I know you've advocated for Malachi Singleton, but is that good for this football program if Talon Greaves decides that he's best off elsewhere?
Well, you asking me my opinion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not shy away from that.
It wouldn't bother me one bit. Not him.
But you think if Malachi enters, that's a bad thing?
Well, no, not necessarily. I like this is how it is with me, Ty. The time that I saw Singleton go in, he did good. And that's all I can judge off of. I don't know that man as a person, but he did great in the games I went to all of them, and he did great when he went in. And like the game against Missouri, again, we really could have won that game. We should have won it. And I ain't gonna just go all into details, but we really should have won that game, man. And it bothers me for us to lose like that because I love my Razorbacks. I get a rush off every time they run through the A, every time they're on television, every game I go to, all of that. And it's just we're not where we need to be. And Bobby Petrino, what if Bobby this, what if Bobby that? Okay, I don't think Bobby came back to Arkansas, accepted the job just to leave after this year. There's no way he's going to do that. And if Coach Pittman stepped down, I'm a Coach Pittman fan. He's a great man, and I'm happy for him either way. I could accept him back. I like Coach Pittman. He's a good man. He's a real humble guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to win some games, though. I want to go to a bowl where I can go where when Petrino was head coach. Oh, and another thing, by Bobby Petrino being the offensive coordinator, it's about moves and decision-making and stuff, and he's not the head coach. I'm not blaming Pittman. I'm not saying, okay, this is why we're not scoring enough points. Or Petrino, he's the offensive coordinator. It could be something we don't know nothing about that he can't do because he don't have that power like he did when he was a head coach. I think he did a great job as a head coach, and I was big time excited. Boy, I tell you, I just don't know though. But I just hope we can get it together.
So you think he's going to stay? You think he's going to stay, even though he's possibly interviewing for that Charlotte job?
Who, Petrino?
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about the Charlotte job.
Might want to look that up. He's a candidate for the Charlotte head coaching job, Cecil. Apparently.
Really?
Yep.
I don't think he would go though, because Petrino. I think the University of Arkansas, he's happy here at the state. I think he liked the state of Arkansas. He loves the school, and he wouldn't have came back just to leave a year, man. I don't see that. I don't see that. And if Pittman stepped down, maybe he can be promoted back to head coach. That'll be great.
We're only an hour and 37 minutes in for that to happen. Appreciate the call. I know, Tommy, you saw him on the sidelines. I got some text, and I don't know if you did too. Just like, isn't it great to see Coach Petrino head coaching on the sidelines again? I'm like, goodness gracious, of all things to.
How many times they show that window upstairs? I mean.
You never
did see Sam Pittman, but they showed that window 100 times.
You know what I thought about is you remember Hugh Freeze, and obviously Coach Pittman's condition was not the same as what Hugh Freeze was at Liberty, which is literally in the medical bed, like standing up there. But that's where I thought about it. I felt bad for Sam. Now here's what he said about being up top after the game.
When anybody's had it for 150 days or whatever I've had, I wish it on nobody. I've had a knee replaced. It's painful. Been coaching 38 years and never not been on the sideline for a game. But I feel like I would have been more of a detriment to the team down there than I would doing the same thing up top and having a clear mind, not worried about the pain.
Yeah. And he talked about there's some medicine because he's got the surgery coming up, and anyone that's been through that knows that there's certain medications, and usually it's blood thinners, but I don't know, he didn't go into all those details, but of things you've got to discontinue for so many days before they can operate. I also thought about just the idea is guy with a bad hip shouldn't be on slick, icy grounds. I mean, that just that just doesn't sound like a good recipe at all. So I think we overblow the idea of the head coach being on the sideline versus up in the box. I don't think that was by any stretch of the imagination the difference in Saturday's outcome.
Well, here's one thing I thought about. Towards the end of the game, I don't think they handled the clock situation well, and Coach got asked about that.
As I look at that last drive, it just happened, and there really wasn't a time because it was a first down, and then, so there really wasn't a time until it got down, and I even told Bobby there at the end, say, look, there's 6 seconds left. I can use a timeout, if you want me to. He said, no, I got to play. I won't.
Did you think they did?
Well, I mean, you had to go one of two ways. They used their timeouts, or 2 of the 3, to slow down the Missouri drive, and then use the 2-minute timeout as kind of the third timeout.
Yeah.
And then Brady, then Cook scores on that 30-yard run, and where else should they have used? I mean, they came home with one in their pocket. How else would you have managed that? Because if not, they run that down, and then you probably get at least they had 1:53 left. They wouldn't have had any time left. I didn't have a big issue with the timeout of the clock management.
How did you not use it in the final drive? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying not using all 3. One? Yeah, you don't take you got nowhere to take it. Use the timeout. And I know he said that Bobby was and use it at 25 seconds or whatever it was. Give yourself time. Instead, you run it down to 6 seconds. You got one play and it's over. I mean, that is it is.
If
so...
you'd have used it at the end to maybe regroup and call the one of those last couple of plays, but I tend to agree with Coach. There really wasn't a place where it fit the flow because either the clock was stopped or you ran out of bounds. In the time you had left.
Here's my thing on this. It is consistently talked about after games, close games, something at the tail end of the game. It was talked about at Oklahoma State. I mean, think about if Andrew had caught that ball at the end of Oklahoma State. You lost regardless, but think about if he catches it. You run out of time. That is the thing. And it wasn't, again, it wasn't in year 2 of 2021. But if you look back in losses in 2022, 2023, and the losses this year, I mean, it's not just the turnovers. It's these little minute details that are so magnified at the end of games that you have got to be so locked in on if you're a head football coach. To me, that I don't know if they would have won the game, but it was definitely not handled, in my opinion, correctly at the tail end of that game. Taking that timeout in, and I asked, listen, any time that I'm like, okay, this is how I feel. How does Matt feel about this? And I asked him, and he's like, what are you doing? Call the timeout. So again, I'm not saying Matt's the end all be all when it comes to football decisions, but when you've got a quarterback that knows their thing or two about winning games late, and he's like that, then I'm going to jump on that same ship.
It wasn't as bad as Chicago and the Bears against the Lions. That's the worst I've ever seen. But they fired him over that. Hey, Hogs play against Miami tomorrow night. You can watch the game at Sassy's, 2 locations in Fayetteville, the original Red House on North College, and Sassy's Barbecue and Grill, where you can also take in Coach Cal live when they have those shows there. They'll obviously not be there this week because they're traveling to Miami. So be sure and get by Sassy's. Also this weekend, with all of college football, Sassy's will be the place to go by and watch college football's championship games on Saturday as well. That's Sassy's, 2 locations in Fayetteville, the original Red House on North College, and Sassy's Barbecue and Grill just off the Weddington exit on Steamboat Drive. Ty, it's hard to believe. You know what is this weekend? You know what happens this weekend?
Conference championship weekend?
That happens.
Where are you going at?
In the beginning of another season at Oaklawn.
Oh, yeah. It's December.
Oaklawn cranks up this weekend as well. They'll have racing on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. Hard to believe that racing starts this Friday, December the 6th. If you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn app to do that, you can get that now and kind of get ready on your iPhone or iPad. But, yeah, we're going to have live racing at Oaklawn this weekend. We'll have our buddy back on and, talk about that as we'll get through some of the picks for this weekend. We'll do that on Friday as well. So it's all coming up this weekend. Live racing at Oaklawn. Be sure and go to bet.oaklawn.com and download their app and get ready to go. Earn points for cash back on every dollar wager, past performances, plus picks from Jeff Money Taylor, all there at the Oaklawn app. So get that now. Go to bet.oaklawn.com for all the details.
Tommy, we hadn't talked about this too extensively this morning. What do you think about Gus Malzahn going to Tallahassee to be Mike Norvell's offensive coordinator at Florida State?
Well, I think Norvell knows his back's up against the wall, and he's got to do some things. I think Gus Malzahn also is probably – I don't know how much heat he was feeling necessarily at UCF in the Big 12, but I think he, as a head coach, how much – and he's been around a while now. How much do you want to continue to deal with NIL, having to raise the money, having to deal with re-recruiting your athletes every day of the year, it seems like? I think it's an interesting move. As I don't want to say he's in the absolute dusk of his career, but he's got a lot more games behind him than ahead of him, and I think it's a very interesting decision he's made to leave Orlando and move to Tallahassee.
What do you think about that occurring more in college football? You kind of alluded to it earlier, but
that's the point I wanted to drive at here is I think we're going to see more experienced coaches, more coaches that are. I wouldn't say UCF are they still a mid-major job even though they're in the Big 12? I don't think you can say that, but they're not the top end of the Power 5 either.
Well, they're like the fourth or fifth best team in Florida.
They're mid-major Power 5, or Power 4, whatever you want to call it now. But the reality is we all think, well, it's about the money, it's about the money, it's about the money. Sometimes it's about less headaches. I mean, when you're going to make millions either way, how many more millions do you need at 60 some odd years old? I mean, you just don't need any more millions.
Here's what I'm getting at. So if you're Bobby Petrino and all those things that you just listed out, if it's just a few $100,000 more, which in head coaching salaries and what he's made over his years is not that much, why wouldn't the argument to just stay here in Fayetteville? That's what I'm getting at.
Well, I think Clay said something really important. Coaches think this way. I've been around enough of them to and listen to them. It's resetting that clock. It's knowing, hey, I've got 2 or 3 or 4 years on my guarantee. I'm guaranteed $6 million over the next 4 years. At Arkansas, that clock doesn't run out that far, and that guarantee's not that big. So
there wasn't even a guarantee this year.
Coaches will go where they know they've got that long-term cash flow for their family because we've just seen it year after year after year. And, at Charlotte, the opponents you're going to be playing there, the NIL war there is not going to be nearly the war you're in now. But he hadn't left town yet. He hadn't gotten that job yet, but it is certainly something worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, for those that don't know, we mentioned this with Cecil earlier. Evidently, according to Football Scoop, Bobby Petrino is a head coaching candidate for the Charlotte. It's not the Hornets. Might be the Cavaliers.
49ers.
49ers.
Yeah.
Thank you. So. Tommy, the mascot knower. Do you think do you think when it comes to like guessing mascots, do you think you're pretty on it? There's some I know. You're probably better with high school.
I read that one last night. Okay. So Football Scoop had that report. But I'd probably do better with a high school than I don't know. Some of them are obvious you can get them, but that's one I just happened to read last night reading this stuff. So,
and that's again one of the dominoes that's happened with Malzahn in the coaching world. We talked about Ryan Day earlier. I wonder if Ohio State's going to pull the trigger. They're evidently spending the most money. We've talked about Arkansas basketball budget in college football. I wonder if Ohio State, if they get beat, they're not going to be happy about losing to Michigan 4 straight times. But if they go on to win the national championship, they'll forgive Ryan Day. But if they get beat early, they're not in the Big Ten championship game now. It's Oregon and Penn State, I guess. They get beat early in the college football playoff. I think he's gone.
Let me tell you something. There's certain members of the fringe members of their fan base that would rather beat Michigan than win the national title.
Hey, you're right.
I don't know how fringe that really is, but and if you don't, I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong on that. They'd rather beat Michigan than win the national title.
Well,
and vice versa. That's a real rivalry there.
We're gonna stay in that region. How quickly at 2:00, Tommy, does Zach mentioned that Notre Dame is headed to the college football playoff and hosting for that matter?
If they were in a conference, or they would man up and get in a conference, they'd probably have a bye too. But they won't, they won't join the league.
That's
the other thing. That's at some point that'll cost them, and I don't know if that'll push them over the edge or not.
Well, staying within rivalry weekend for a sec, coming back to the one that's here in Fayetteville and up there in Columbia, I wonder, like, I advocated the entire game day show that they should put Missouri and Oklahoma on this weekend and Arkansas and LSU. I had LSU fans texting me saying, I wish we were playing y'all today. And I don't know if that's widespread across that fan base, but doesn't that feel like a better rivalry weekend? Missouri and Oklahoma, much longer rivalry in Arkansas and LSU, which has been going on for 30-plus years now. And do you think the SEC would ever be willing to admit, we bleeped up, this is actually how it should be? You could still play Missouri for the Battle Line Trophy, but this is how it should actually be, getting to play LSU and Missouri playing Oklahoma, which very much is a rivalry.
Well, TV will ultimately decide it, but I don't think the Southeastern Conference thinks they've made a mistake, nor do I think ESPN thinks it's a mistake. They know that long term the brands of LSU and OU will draw a bigger crowd than Arkansas and Missouri. But I think it will keep our powder dry, and I understand where you're coming from, and don't disagree with some of what you're saying. But if you'll keep your powder dry, I think this Missouri now, Arkansas's got to win some, but this series is turning into something, and Eli's stirring the pot. And I think as long as he's there, we got a better chance of this thing becoming something. And listen, they were fighting, grabbing face masks. Yep. I mean, this game was chippy. So don't tell me the players don't care about it, because I saw more feistiness out of these players this past weekend from Arkansas than you've seen all year long.
Yep.
So it clearly means something to them.
Yeah, here's what Drink said after.
But I hope they all understand there's a lot of mutual respect. I respect the crud out of Arkansas and their program and what they've built.
Again, twisting the knife after the game. He's like, I don't know if he was smiling while he said that. I didn't watch the full press conference, just cut up the audio. But, man, he owns us. You know what? I had someone text me. He goes, he can call our quarterback whatever he wants. He's our father. He is. Yeah. He can say whatever he wants about the University of Arkansas, the football program, the starting quarterback. It doesn't matter, because the only way you can shut him up is beat him on the field, and you can't do. You haven't done
more than
that
once. You're going to have to do it not just once. You're going to have to keep. You have to do to him at some point what's happened here, and if that happens, he'll be fired.
I do, Tommy, I will say, I do. And how many times does that happen when someone's lost to Arkansas and then they've been kicked out of the league by their athletics director? I do agree with you 100%. I'm trying to think of like a game this season where I saw as much chippiness from this Arkansas team. And maybe it does mean more to the players than we realized, because it felt like it Saturday at 2:30 in Columbia.
We weren't here Friday to do the Fence Man Friday picks. Probably a good thing. I don't know. A lot of favorites won. We probably have done okay this weekend. We'll do them again this Friday. The Fence Man Friday picks, brought to you by the Fence Man. 782-3936 is their number. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Hey, you looking to spruce up your existing home, or maybe start from the ground up? Either way, check out Farm Credit of Western Arkansas first before you get started. Find out why for more than 100 years that Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has helped local families just like yours, just like mine, make their dream home come true. Visit myaglender.com or visit any of Farm Credit's 25 locations today. There's one near you. Find one at myaglender.com.
So back to some high school news. Grayson Wilson, Conway quarterback, was selected as one of 4 U.S. Army National Player of the Year finalists. So congrats to Grayson. He's getting, a free trip to New York City. I don't know if it's free, actually. I shouldn't say that, but it's kind of cool for him. Tommy, we do know the semifinals for some, and we know the finals for other state championships. 6A, Shiloh and Greenwood. 7A, Bryan and Benville. 5A, Parkview and Farmington. 2A, Conway Christian and EPC for the semifinals, and 4A and 3A. 4A, we've got Southside at Arkadelphia, Elkins at Mills, and for the 3A, we've got Fordyce at Bismarck and Salem at Mansfield. So you've got some high school games set for this weekend in Little Rock, and some ones that you'll see the following weekend after their semifinal matchups.
Yep, and be a busy weekend. They've also got the 8-man finals coming up on Thursday night at War Memorial Stadium. It's been a Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Always the best brands, the best prices, and a lifetime warranty from Lee J and Chris on every new RV they sell. That's Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
That's going to do it for us here on a Hot Take Monday. If you missed any of our content with our friend Clay Henry, multiple calls today, you can find it in the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. For Tommy Kraft, Christian Johnson, and our friend Clay Henry, I'm Ty Richardson. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Halftime with Phil Elson and the quarterback Matt Jones coming your way next.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence